At the Mississippi Arts and Entertainment Experience in Meridian, we believe in the power of the arts, storytelling, and education, just like Mississippi Public Broadcasting. MPB connects communities across the state with quality programs that inform, inspire, and engage. Their audience is loyal and appreciative of businesses that support public broadcasting, which makes underwriting on MPB a smart investment. Join us in supporting MPB. Learn more at mpbfoundation.org.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bobby Rush. As a blues man, I love Mississippi Public Broadcasting. If you support Mississippi music and their local programming, donate now, right now, and become a member today, not tomorrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Doesn't matter how big or small, but we prefer big. Thank you very much.
Happy Monday. It is Deep South Dining on MPB Think Radio. Malcolm White with Carol Palmer.
Happy Monday, my friend.
Happy Monday to you.
So what's happening?
Oh, there's so much happening, you know.
You've turned into a veritable news bulletin.
I know I'm wearing y'all out. Marissa says, I don't work on weekends. Quit sending me all this stuff.
I throw a nice little like here and there so you know I'm around.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, when we get to it, here's something else that I've unearthed that I'm excited about. But first, June. It is first day of June, I believe.
It is. Happy birthday to my brother, John.
Indeed.
John
Happy birthday,
Puckett,
Johnny.
happy birthday.
Yeah, happy June to one and all. So June the 2nd, that would be tomorrow, is National Rotisserie Chicken Day.
Something worth celebrating because a rotisserie chicken will take you places.
The thing I like about the rotisserie chicken is its versatility. You can buy one. They're often, if not always, warm when you buy them. So they've just been cooked. You can take them straight home and eat them right out of the bag. You can make chicken enchiladas out of it. You can make chicken salad out of it. In fact, Java and I had a discussion over the weekend about chicken salad and his recipe. And I shared a couple of recipes with Java. He said he was looking to put a little oomph into his chicken salad. I just talked to him. He said he's going to make the two recipes that I sent him this week. And so next week we'll have Java on to talk about.
What kind of oomph did you tell him, like curry powder?
Well, I gave him two recipes, Elizabeth Heiskell's, where she focuses on the Greek seasoning, Cavender's, sorry, always mispronouncing things. She really relies on Cavender's. Then I sent him Hal, my brother's recipe, that includes using poppy seed dressing as well as mayonnaise as the binder, and grapes, seedless red grapes.
Yes,
and
I support that.
And roasted pecans.
I support that.
So Java's got his version, which, as he reported out, is basically chicken, mayonnaise, and pickle relish. And then there's Elizabeth Heiskell's, and then there's Hal. So anyway, we'll get a full report. But I love a rotisserie chicken. It is so versatile. And at the end, when one has picked the chicken, you can take the carcass, and lo and behold, you can make some mighty fine chicken soup.
Yep. Mal, I need to make a comment.
Okay.
Cavender seasoning. There is a crisis afoot.
Uh-oh.
I went to 3 stores yesterday looking for Cavender's.
Well.
And it was off the shelf. And I actually ran into my stepdaughter, Patricia, at Corner Market. And she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm looking for Cavender's seasoning." And she said, "Oh, my gosh, I haven't been able to find it in, like several weeks." So I think that everybody's out there buying Cavenders.
Well,
Which I know you think it's made in Greece because it's
oh no,
Greek seasoning.
no.
But
I know
found
better. We
it's-
did a whole segment
yes,
on it.
It's made in Arkansas.
That's
and
right.
we've got to get to the bottom of this because it is a crisis.
Well, I saw it in Corner Market Fondren on Sunday because I was in there
I'll
buying
head over there.
celery seed, which is
Okay.
really hard to find. I went to 3 or 4 stores to find celery seed, which is an important component in my brother Hal's coleslaw. So
Okay.
as I was searching and searching,
I'm so happy I'm here today to hear that. But speaking of your brother's coleslaw, I was looking at posts in Cooking and Coping,
a lot of interest.
and some in big headlines was, does anybody know Mal's brother Hal's coleslaw recipe?
Yes, there were.
That really excited me.
There were 30 plus inquiries into this, and I'm actually working with Lynn Stenga on producing a home kitchen version, and I will be sharing it soon on Cooking and Coping. I make it regularly, and I make it a lot like Hal did.
But you just do your Malcolm thing where you just put a
Well,
little
but I
bit,
use all the ingredients as he uses.
but
So
you don't measure.
But I'm going. That's right. But I'm going to measure and going to post this coleslaw because it is good.
Well, I just thought that was neat. And I mean, in so many ways, but that people's food lives on after them.
Correct.
And that people have specific memories of it. And it just made me smile to see that. I think, was it Jackie Tatum
That started it all.
that started that, yeah.
But
Made
yeah,
me happy.
Yeah, that's great. Also, June 5 is National Ketchup Day. I wrote a whole chapter in my book about Hal and Mal's about ketchup. And I know all of you have read it, so you know exactly where I'm coming from. But there was the great Heinz ketchup boycott by the National Restaurant Association when Senator John Kerry ran for president in 2004 against George W. Bush. And so all of the conservative restaurateurs decided they would boycott Heinz because Senator Kerry is married to a Heinz.
Teresa Heinz.
But let me just say this. To boycott a food and to eat an inferior product seems rather numbskullish to me.
Numbskullish is that's a good description.
I love Heinz ketchup, and I don't care who's married to whom. So
Okay, great.
If you go for Hunt's or one of these off-brand ketchups because of your political beliefs, I'm sorry. But everybody's got to do what everybody's got to do. Also, June the 5th, National Donut Day, and I bring that up as so that I can make a shout-out to Joe the Lebanese Breeze Sherman, who's in the donut business.
Yeah, he's the owner of a Dunkin' Donuts, and we have been gifted many donuts over the years.
And man, have we. All right, shrimp season in Mississippi opened on May 26 in the state waters, according to the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. And from what I can glean, it is an average year this year, mostly like last year and the year before. The only major difference being the cost of fuel, which is much higher. So I would anticipate that the cost of shrimp would be slightly higher, but the bounty, the number of shrimp, the pounds, seem to be in good shape. And so, go out and buy some Mississippi shrimp and support our shrimpers. Now, Carol, you grew up for a while in Pass Christian.
I did indeed.
Your dad had a special relationship with the shrimpers in Pass Christian.
Oh, yes, he was probably one of their biggest customers, but he did love to boil shrimp, didn't he, Mal?
He loved to boil them, and he loved to put them up for his family. You would open his freezer, and in there it would say 40 shrimp Carol, 40 shrimp John, and on and on.
And I do that to this day in his honor. And just a quick little shrimp story is back in the Martha Stewart days of her doing Martha Stewart magazine, she came and stayed at our house at the coast a couple of times when she was doing a story. And she was doing a shrimp story. Well, shrimp season was not officially open. Something happened. I mean, it's set by, the government and everything. And it was so serious. And we said, well, we're just going to put, this is going to be featured in a magazine. It's great for Mississippi. You could not even let the nets touch the water, or it would have been illegal.
A violation.
Yes, but we did get the story. The nets didn't touch the water, and Martha bought some beautiful white shrimpers rubber boots at Martin's Hardware, and passed Christiane, and she looked very Martha-ish out there,
as always.
But shrimp season, that's serious business.
Very serious. Okay, from the other end of the state, we have a report from our great friend Tim Pierce, who reports that Boonvillians fondly remember Weeks Diner. That's Willie Weeks' family. Not only did Weeks create the dough burger, the Weeks burger, but also made a fabulous breakfast sandwich long before it was a trend. Reed's Market, a.k.a. Piggly Wiggly in Byhalia, according to Tim Pierce, sells Lewis Bake Shop bread. One bite of Black Forest ham and egg on a Lewis bun instantly transports me to the Weeks trolley car in downtown Boonville. There is something about the flavor of this bread mixed with the greasy ham, egg, mayo, and tomato that has me waxing nostalgic.
I like that.
That's a report from our friend Tim Pierce.
From North Mississippi.
Now, Tim swears by these tomatoes, having mentioned tomato as an ingredient in the Weeks ham and egg sandwich. Ripley's Tomatoes has their first tomatoes of the season coming in, probably not by now, but truthfully, you cannot be disappointed by a Ripley's. Now, Ripley's is a Ripley's Tennessee tomato.
Yes, and I was so fooled by that for the longest time.
We thought it was Ripley, Mississippi, but oh no. So if you live in that part of the world and you know anything about the Ripley produce or the Ripley tomatoes, we would love to hear from you. You can tell us all about it.
I need to have another tomato news flash.
Please.
My favorite local farmers market is the Darsbury Farmers Market. We've been there out on Highway 80.
Yep.
They have
out in Pearl.
It's in Pearl, you're right,
That's right.
near Miss Kelly's. Anyway, they have
Near Hines Community College.
Loosedale tomatoes in now.
Loosedale.
And I do love a Loosedale tomato. They've had Chilton County peaches, which
Chilton,
are really
Alabama.
good. Yep. And I brought some snap beans to cook tonight.
Oh, boy.
But you need to try the Loosedale tomatoes.
I will. I shall, and I can't wait.
They're always the first ones, the first Mississippi tomatoes in.
Now, that's George County, right? Loosedale. I believe that's right. North
You're probably
George.
right.
North
You're probably
George County.
right.
The lower six. I could be wrong, but I also could be right. In other local news, the Conecuh sausage people have somehow finagled their way onto the menu of the fast food operation Jack's.
Yes.
Which is that a Southern thing? They keep their ads all say they're a Southern thing. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it started in Alabama.
Oh, okay. Well, that would be a good reason to have an Alabama sausage.
Exactly. You're right.
They have started serving Conecuh sausage hot dogs at Jack's. And not only did I read that somewhere, and I know it to be true, but our very own Stafford Sheridan did a review of the gas station.
His famous tailgate gas station reviews.
He did a review of the Conecuh hot dog and gives it a thumbs up.
Yeah, and he really prefaced this story with the fact that he does not do fast food. He does gas stations. But the idea of a Conecuh sausage dog just absolutely pulled him straight in. And he
put a craving.
Yeah.
Put a craving on it.
It did.
And now I've got one.
Yep, me
too.
So
there you go. I hope I'm giving it to each and every one of our listeners. All right, in other Mississippi news, Lenya Pizza and Bagels in Cleveland, Carol, who last year finished in the top 50 pizza places in the country, finished 38th this year, has come in at number 9.
You know, it's amazing to have a true Italian pizza maker in Mississippi, a traditional pizza maker. Lived and worked in Italy, studied at a pizza academy, and brought this back to us.
And that's Marisol Doyle.
It is.
Of Cleveland, along with her husband and great friend of ours, Roy Doyle, the great photographer. And congratulations to Lenya for continuing to produce fabulous pizza and bagels in Cleveland, Mississippi, and for their continued success. More news from the Delta, Carol. The Delta Supper Club, which you know a little bit more about than I do, has announced it's having its first event of the year on July 17 at Dockery Plantation.
Yeah, and we've talked about this on the air before. It's a group of chefs and people in the Delta got together and started doing these amazing dinners, flying in chefs from San Francisco or Chicago or wherever in wonderful places. Like the airport hangar in Greenwood was one I remember. And this is at Dockery, which some people call the birthplace of the blues.
Right.
Dockery Plantation, which is about 8 miles from Cleveland.
And
Between
this is
Cleveland and Rouville.
Rouville, that's right. This is Chef David Cruz and his creation and his friends. So if you're interested in traveling to the Delta and to unique locations and eating a fabulous supper at the Delta Supper Club, just Google, look online for the Delta Supper Club, and the details will be there. You can buy tickets and so forth and so on. That's July 17 at the Dockery. And finally, last but not least, here in Fondren, Chef Joe Cravens of Walker's Drive-In has now taken over the whole food and beverage operation across the street from his business, which is Walker's Drive-In. That includes the Pearl, the Capri, and the Fondren Yard Pizza operation there in Fondren. So Walker's is on the move and might be an interesting thing to check out.
I think this is going to be a great community builder. And, Fondren's such a fabulous community anyway, and this is just going to pull it together even more. And people love that bowling alley. A lot of action there.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun...
so you're going to have some great food at the
movie
bowling
theater,
alley.
Bowling alley, cocktail lounge, pizza operation, big outdoor venue for live music, movies, and gatherings. That's in Fondren. So check it out with Joe Cravens behind the stove with his team from Walker's. Things should be looking up over there. So check it out. All right, we're going to take a short break.
Yes, we are.
And you're going to set up, when we come back, you're going to set up our special guest who's joining us via Zoom to talk about a really cool and unique trip that she made back home to the old SIP. And you and I were able to join Charlotte along the way, and we'll report out on that. All right, we'll take a short break. We'll be back in just a few with more Deep South Dining on MPB Think Radio.
Hatred destroys the one who hates. The others that you have hated, go on about their business. Care of us.
So the legacy of Medgar Evers is an understanding of our own humanity and of our own responsibility of seeing that in other people.
He is written out of history. He's just not included as Malcolm and Martin. To me, it's the 3 M's, and Medgar's right up there at the lead.
Everlasting, Life and Legacy of Medgar Evers. Watch now on MPB Passport. Visit mpbonline.org for more.
At the Mississippi Arts and Entertainment Experience in Meridian, we believe in the power of the arts, storytelling, and education, just like Mississippi Public Broadcasting. MPB connects communities across the state with quality programs that inform, inspire, and engage. Their audience is loyal and appreciative of businesses that support public broadcasting, which makes underwriting on MPB a smart investment. Join us in supporting MPB. Learn more at mpbfoundation.org.
School choice, rural hospitals, voter access. The 2026 Mississippi Legislature will impact you and your family for years to come. MPB brings you At Issue, a weekly analysis of the legislative session and the issues affecting you with perspectives from both sides of the aisle. Brandon Jones and new At Issue analyst Rebecca Staples join me, Wilson Stribling, every Monday at 5 p.m. only on MPB Think Radio and wherever you get your podcasts. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Welcome back to Deep South Dining here on MPB Think Radio. Malcolm White, Carol Palmer. We're glad that you're here. And we want to acknowledge that Deep South Dining's podcast is brought to you by Mississippi Red Pepper Sauce. Discover more at msredpeppersauce.com. And it's good for you. You know what? I had some for lunch today.
Oh, yeah.
Mesa Mesa.
Yeah.
They had the red pepper, and I put it on my tacos, and it was yummy. Now, on the break, I opened up this package that we received. Did it come through the mail? How did it get here, Marissa?
It was delivered. It was hand-delivered by
Elves.
Ms. Gina Diamond's husband, I believe.
Well, it's a beautiful book. It's called The Blooming Table by Gina Diamond, and she gifted Carol and I in this beautiful box and this beautiful book. And we're going to have her on. When are we going to have her on?
June 15th.
June 15th.
She'll be on the show.
Gina will come on, and we will highlight her book and all the things that she does. But meanwhile, we have on the Zoom, we have one of our great friends. And Carol, will you do the honors?
I certainly will. Malcolm and I welcome our friend Charlotte Duck Pelton from somewhere down there around the Palm Beaches in Florida. Hey, Charlotte.
Hey, how are you?
Charlotte and I actually went to Murrah High School together, graduated together, and have kind of reconnected through Cooking and Coping, and she is one of our star posters, so I'm sure that many people out there today will recognize her. And I just want to, move next door so I can eat with you, Charlotte.
Well, come on down any old time. I have plenty of room, and I'd love to have you.
Well, I'm sorry we couldn't get you on in person because you were doing the most interesting thing last week. You and your beautiful daughter, Amanda, started in Memphis and went down to the coast eating at the Michelin-nominated restaurants. You were organized. I mean, your itinerary looks as a spreadsheet, and you had a name for your trip and a rating system. So how did this get started? Tell us about it.
Well, it started right here when on one of your shows, y'all mentioned the Michelin
Bib Gourmand
Guide for the South, and the fact that there were 10 places mentioned in it. And I thought, seriously, we have to do this. And so I called Amanda and I said, I'm thinking about doing this trip. She said, well, Mom, I'm going to go to Kansas anyway. Let's make this happen. So she started in Kansas doing indigenous tribes, mounds, and sites, and then joined in Memphis, and we started making our way down. So once it started, we began to make plans. We figured out where everything was, and figured out. It took us a long time because some restaurants don't take reservations until a certain time, et cetera, et cetera. So fortunately, I'd say unfortunately for my waistband, we hit 14 restaurants, 9 of which were 9 of the 10. Sadly, we missed Taylor Grocery because with Memorial Day, they weren't open. We couldn't figure it out. But we hit some other places in between, but basically 9 of the 10.
So walk us through the process. You created both itinerary, a schedule, a travel log, and then you did a sort of judging system.
We did a judging system. We decided to well, we had the great idea originally that each one of us, my niece Charlotte, my only sister's daughter, went with us. It was the first time the adult cousins had ever spent that kind of adult time together, no children. So I said, we have to rate these things. Like, we have to rate them. So we came up with a whole listing of ratings, including decor originality, the ambiance and vibe of the place, the creativity of the menu, the service excellence, the price value, what we ordered. So that was all about the place, and then all about the food. What, the freshness, the taste, the creativity and originality, the specialness. How do you describe that?
Yes.
The specialness and the presentation. And so we had the grand idea that on a scale of 1 to 10, we were going to rate each one and combine it and all that. That didn't happen. That got way too complicated. So Amanda and I went flying out from Jackson, because we started in Memphis and ended up going back to Jackson to fly out. We did it on the airplane and in the car, and just came up with the ratings. So
okay, so you started in the Delta?
We started in the Delta because we thought day one we would go straight to Oxford, because 4 are in the Oxford area. It worked out really nicely geographically, because 4 were in the Oxford area, 3 were in Jackson, and 3 were on the Gulf Coast. But because we couldn't figure out Taylor Grocery, we reached out to good old Mike Wagner, because I love his rice. I give it away as gifts to all my friends down here. I said, you need to understand my beloved home state and the food and all that. So I give away Mississippi cheese straws and all kinds of things, and rice. So he
Yes, and this is
welcomed us.
Mike Wagner of Two Brooks Rice in Sumner. And if you're a cooking and coping person, his rice is all over the place.
Yes.
His rice is all over the place. He welcomed us to his office, where he has great art. Who knew? And then after lunch with Stafford Sheridan at Stafford's in Drew, we drove 1,000,000 miles of back roads of gravel and mud, and it wasn't muddy, fortunately, but red clay. And he showed us all over his operation. And then we landed at the end in the production facility, where we learned all about the process and how he makes rice. And when you walked in the door, it was a little bit warm and it smelled like rice, even though this is uncooked rice. So that was really amazing to see.
Like
I
popcorn.
see that you use a lot of his rice in your dishes. Do you have a favorite?
The black sable, I love it. It's just so beautiful. It contrasts against, other foods, fish and things, because I eat a lot of seafood. So I think that's probably my favorite, but they're all good. I've tried them all. I order regularly. I've tried them all. So yeah. I'm the Florida contingent for Two Brooks.
And remind our listeners that you grew up in Jackson, but you now live in Florida.
I grew up in Jackson, went to college in Hattiesburg, moved to Memphis for my 20s for the most part, where I met my husband, Amanda's dad. We were in corporate strategic planning at Holiday Inns, and he was a Florida boy who missed the water. So next thing I know, I'm moving to Miami, which was an incredible opportunity to really understand multiculturalism and to really embrace, people from all over the world, because that's such a melting pot down there. So it was a real eye-opening time, and I loved it. But then ultimately made my way to Palm Beach County because, Miami's a big city, and I didn't really want Amanda to grow up in that kind of, not that Miami's not great, but I wanted to something a little more what I was used to. So moved to Palm Beach County, and that's where she grew up. So
wow,
really Floridian for many years.
So let's talk about your first rating stop besides your meal at Sheridan's with Mike Wagner and team. Where was your first stop on your sort of Michelin rating tour?
Well, our first stop was lunch at Stafford's, and he gets the award for wonderful Southern hospitality because he showed up. He had already had lunch. He sat with us and talked to us and gave us things that we didn't even order. So we really had a good taste of his food. So he gets the hospitality award. There wasn't one, but he gets it. I created a new one just for him.
Yeah, we can second that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he was great. Our first stop in terms of the Michelin Guide restaurants was City Grocery
in
with
Oxford. Okay.
high school girlfriends. We actually had dinner the night before at Sips because, again, which is a great restaurant, But
that's
again,
the Kiami family, who from the Kiami's bowling alley
Right.
and
Yeah.
chili spot.
and they had some great food. We really enjoyed it because there was nothing, because the again, Ajax wasn't open. That was our plan. They said they were open that day, and they turned out it was a holiday. They weren't. So we went to City Grocery, where we were with Sally and Deborah and Babs and Angie, and had a great time, reminiscing over our youth. And it turns out most of them moved up there because of grandchildren. So typical. So we had a great lunch there. Just a wonderful time, again, connecting back to my childhood and memories of that. But then, because we were not able to do Ajax, we had a second lunch. So we tried not to eat everything. I was doing pretty good till about day, 5 maybe. We then went to Ajax, where they get the award for their fried dill pickles. They are amazing. And fried dill pickles, but you just have to when you see that on the menu. And I thought, well, I've never eaten them before, but if I'm going to do it, it's going to be in the South. So we did. And it turns out we had to, Amanda and I took the basket, put it behind the napkin thing. And then the gal tried to come and take it away. We're like, no, take it away. But we were trying to resist, you know what I mean?
Restrain.
Well, what did you have at City Grocery, or the people that you had that you thought was really wonderful?
What did I have at City Grocery? I do know, because I have copious notes. I just have to find them. Actually, I had, let's see if I have it written down here. I had a blackened redfish sandwich. Okay. That was really good. Fish was excellent. So I tried, again, it was early on, I tried to eat less of the bread and more of the fish. And I'm such a seafood person. And I said, I've got to eat as much seafood as I can on this trip. So I had that there, and it was excellent. And everybody around the table got something different. Again, it was such a variety of things that we were tasting each other's food, but my fish was excellent.
Did you give City Grocery a score or a rating or a ranking?
Let's see. City Grocery got a score of... Hold on. I have so many notes, it's ridiculous. I really do. Oh, they got service excellence because they were just so attentive to us.
Yep.
And, the food was great, but it was a lovely, it was a cute little place. It was, even though there were a bunch of us, the food came out quickly, just really was nice. And I really appreciate that when they are so attentive, and they were to us, even though they had no idea who we were.
Sure.
Just a group of women
I
having
think
lunch.
there would be a lot of people that would second that with City Grocery. I mean, it really is a lovely service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lovely place.
Well, I had...
But I have to say this, the number one restaurant for service excellence was Vestige. I mean...
Right.
The minute it started, it was like, okay, we get it. We totally get it.
Yeah, and Vestige is in Ocean Springs.
Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Yes,
now.
We don't get ahead of ourselves.
Yes,
okay.
We hadn't gotten out of Oxford yet.
We hadn't gotten out of Oxford yet. So I'd say that Ajax for the appetizer, they got that. That was really, even though I know it's a thing in other places. For me, I'd never had it before, so it made the list for that.
And then, so that's Ajax and City Grocery, and you were unable to get in Taylor Grocery. So that was
so then we went that night to Snack Bar.
Okay, all right, you're at Snack Bar now.
She's just making the most of a great situation.
Of course she is.
And I tell you, there was one dish. Everything was great. There were two dishes that really stood out there. And that was the fried mozzarella. Now, when you think of fried mozzarella, you think, that's something that my 5-year-old's going to get at,
mozzarella sticks, yeah, with ranch dressing.
Mm-hmm. These were the little balls of fresh mozzarella, and the sauce was a Sunday sauce or a grandmother's gravy, if you will, Italian, with red pepper, some kind of red pepper jelly stirred in. It totally elevated it. They were done perfectly. These perfect little bites. That was amazing. But then because we hadn't had catfish, we ordered the catfish. And talk about unique. That was a unique dish because it was sort of it was in a, it's bacon. What's the that makes this made with hot coffee? You know what I'm saying?
Red-eye gravy.
Like a red-eye gravy jus with summer succotash and pickled green tomato. And it was so unusual. And the fish sort of sat up on the top. It wasn't in the bottom in the broth, but then you could scoop up this warm broth with the succotash in it. It was stellar.
All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break, come back. Are we finished with Oxford, Charlotte?
We're finished with Oxford.
Okay, so that's the Oxford stop. We're going to take a break, come back, and we'll be heading to Jackson, and then from Jackson to the coast, again on tour with Charlotte Duck Pelton and her daughter Amanda on the road with the Michelin
Bib Gourmand Awards
in Mississippi. We'll be right back with more Deep South Dining. Stay tuned.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bobby Rush. As a blues man, I love Mississippi Public Broadcasting. If you support Mississippi music and their local programming, donate now, right now, and become a member today, not tomorrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Doesn't matter how big or small, but we prefer big. Thank you very much.
School choice, rural hospitals, voter access. The 2026 Mississippi Legislature will impact you and your family for years to come. MPB brings you At Issue, a weekly analysis of the legislative session and the issues affecting you with perspectives from both sides of the aisle. Brandon Jones and new At Issue analyst Rebecca Staples join me, Wilson Stribling, every Monday at 5 p.m. only on MPB Think Radio and wherever you get your podcasts. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Mississippi is a place of deep roots where every story matters and every voice can be heard. At MPB, we stand with our local communities, bringing you the voices of those who shape our state through local programming that reflects our culture across small towns to big cities, from the Delta to the coast. We tell the stories that define us, from the music that carries our voices to the leaders who inspire change. MPB brings you the heart of Mississippi, celebrating Mississippi one story at a time. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Welcome back to Deep South Dining, right here on MPB Think Radio. Malcolm White, Carol Palmer, and Charlotte Duck Pelton from a distance.
From a distance. And what we are doing is we are discussing Charlotte's trip last week, where she and her daughter Amanda started in Memphis, went all the way to the coast, and visited restaurants that were named in the new Michelin Guide to the South. It was their inaugural guide, and there's, of course, their star system. And we know that, EJ's in New Orleans got a star. But they have another category called Bib Gourmand, and Bib is the name of the little, that little fat tire man you see with the Michelin Man. Mm-hmm. And so Bib Gourmand are restaurants that have exceptionally good food at moderate prices, and Jackson had 2. And then there's another, Mississippi had 2. And then the other category is Michelin recommended. And those are restaurants that you would drive out of the way for, that have really good food. So what a wonderful idea. Charlotte's originally from Jackson, my high school pal, and they hit the road.
So she has it broken into 3 stops. First was Oxford, and Oxford had 4 restaurants who made the Michelin list. And then she came to Jackson, and I think you said Charlotte Jackson had 3. Okay. So welcome back, and pick it up here in the capital city.
Okay. Well, I wanted to say, because I said at first we hit 14 restaurants, oink, oink. Oh, and I do have my T-shirt on.
More garlic.
Yeah, I asked Charlotte
we
to
did
wear
T-shirts for the trip. We had to have mementos. So, but there were 14 restaurants, 9 of the 10 mentioned, and 8 great high school and childhood friends. Got to mention the friends because that made it special along the way. That really happened in Jackson. That's where a bunch of them were, including Carol. So we got up the next morning and drove straight to Elvie's
from Oxford.
And we met Malcolm, Carol, and Joe Sherman and Mary Pryor, his lovely wife, who I just adore, and had the most wonderful lunch at Elvie's. And I would say that Elvie's, from an award perspective, got the most creative brunch menu.
It was
They really
delicious.
had it.
Charlotte,
I think I didn't go that route. I should have, but it was amazing to look at and to see and to have a little bit of taste of.
I know that your daughter Amanda is listening from her home in Maine, and I just want to say that Amanda and I won the Dish Pick Award.
You did.
Because we got eggs cochon.
Right.
And it was an eggs Benedict. It was poached egg on pork belly.
Right.
All this was sitting on grits with a maple red eye gravy drizzled over it. It was delicious.
Well, Joe Sherman's dish was the second best dish on the table.
I agree with you, Malcolm. It was. I said between those two.
And his was the Hangtown Fry, which is a French omelet with 3 or 4 perfectly fried oysters. And the history of the Hangtown Fry was during the California Gold Rush. That was like when you made it big. It was their idea of what a rich man would eat, and so it was in Hangtown. Therefore, the Hangtown Fry.
Yeah.
Great. And I had breakfast, which I live around the corner and I eat there a lot. And so I just get what I get. And it was delicious. Beautiful pancake and some eggs and such. I don't remember what Mary Pryor had, but anyway, it was a great meal.
Anyway, it was, and the company was just fabulous. So that made it so much fun. The ones that got specialness, of course, were all the ones where our people showed up. Except for Vestige, it's in a category unto itself.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to hear about Sacred Ground, because actually Elvie's and Sacred Ground won. They were the 2 Bib Gourmand winners.
Okay.
The others were recommended. So
gotcha.
Exactly.
We got 2 in
well,
Jackson.
we then went that night to Polito's
Across the street from Elvie's.
Across the street, where we had a wonderful dinner with my great niece Taylor and her boyfriend. So we did the family dinner there, and that was also a wonderful meal. I would say that there's a pasta dish with pistachios that's amazing. Amanda had the gluten-free version, so we all got to taste it, and it was excellent. And we had a whole bunch of other things, but their Caesar salad was top notch. Caesar salad was top notch. Because, we were ordering, we did half a grilled chicken, the burrata, the pizza. We had so many things. I'm like, we got to have a salad in here. Not just thinking it'd be a salad. It was an elevated Caesar. So.
All right. So you had Elvie's, and then you had Polito.
And the next day early, we drove to Sacred Ground, which I had been before at one of our class reunions, but didn't make the linkage till I did the Where Are All the Mounds. So if we could see a mound on the way, because we love to do those. Yeah. And there was one right there.
Across the street.
Literally. And so understanding that that's the name was very cool. But that place, oh my gosh. And again, because I was with high school friends, Kathy and Stanley King and Jolynn Wise, can't remember her last name now, and all of us, we ordered multiple things again, and so we were able to try things. That the brisket, of course, is amazing.
The brisket. It's Texas style, and it is awesome.
Texas style. The smoked corn salad.
Mighty good.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And the Brussels sprouts. But again, sort of everything. So then we hightailed it to the coast.
Full as a tick.
Oh my gosh, yes, full as a tick. Fortunately the restaurants were only open at night. So we had to stay 3 nights. So that was great. We got a tiny little Airbnb just a few blocks off the beach, where we were able to stay and, have a kitchenette and all that kind of stuff. Never mind, we used it
so
to
you
warm
could
up
eat some
coffee.
more. Yeah, so you wanted
it became the water and, pretty much nothing else. So that night was Vestige. That was our, quote, dress up night.
Mm-hmm.
And what was interesting is in my mind, I was imagining, because so many of the places have white linen, I was imagining that was going to be that. And it wasn't. And it was such a pleasant surprise to say, okay, this is a really cool place with a really cool vibe. And it's not all fancy, but the food is off the chain fancy. Fancy.
Yeah, the food is the everything. And it's a
prefix
prefix meal. So one just sits down and chooses a beverage, and the rest, as they say, is just history.
Exactly. It is what it is. And what's great about it is my niece is Charlotte. She's pretty basic. She's like my sister. She's pretty basic. She said, I would have never, ever, ever eaten the things that I ate tonight. And this is the best meal I've ever had in my life.
Okay, we're going to have to pick up the pace.
Pick up the
here.
pace. We got 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got just a few minutes, and I am so ready to hear about Siren Social Club.
Okay. Well, in between, we worked in Radish, met
In Long Beach.
William, what is his name? William Rester.
Yeah, we had him on the show.
Fabulous.
We did.
Then we went to Siren Social. Coolest vibe overall. Everything about it is just a cool interior. We met the chef. He was delightful. And he kept sending things, even though we were ordering things. But between the scallops and the squid ink pasta, those were the top notch. So Siren Social is just a fun place to go. And then we did get to Quave. Malcolm had great po' boys.
Quave Brothers. Did you get to pressed and dressed? Did you get pressed and dressed? Yeah, okay.
Pressed and dressed.
What'd you think?
Do that. It was great. I had half oyster, half shrimp. Perfect.
Yes.
It was good. And then the icing on the cake was white pillars. Mm-hmm. It was, again,
Chef Summerall.
He had a charity event that night with somebody else. They were making food, but we had, it just kept coming. The smoked fried chicken with those beans, amazing.
Smoked fried chicken.
Smoked and fried chicken with some turnip greens and a like baked beans, except they were field peas, and they were just like didn't know what to expect. They were excellent.
That's funny that you're in Biloxi looking at the Gulf and you're eating fried chicken and beans. I love it.
I know. But we had the seafood tower.
Oh, of course. Okay.
Surf and turf now.
So we then were able to switch. But Amanda had the best dish, I think. She had swordfish over Tuebrook sabled rice with a crawfish curry sauce.
Ooh.
I tell you, Tuebrook's, he's Mike Wagner. He's getting around.
He's everywhere.
He's dropping off some rice at all sorts of fine places.
He is, and he says he does that. And listen, I wouldn't have been buying his rice if it weren't for this show and seeing people on Cooking and Coping cooking with his rice. So 4 pounds later,
there you are.
I'm back on the wagon.
I bet you are. Back to tuna salad. All right, we want to remind everybody that Deep South Dining Podcast is brought to you by Mississippi Red Pepper Sauce, and you can discover more at msredpeppersauce.com. And Marissa, you had a quick update on our friends at Extra Table about an event they have coming up. You want to tell us about that?
I do. Our good friend Martha Allen Price sent out a press release in celebration of its 16th year of feeding food insecure Mississippians. Extra Table Feeds is announcing the launch of its inaugural Good on the Go tour, the Extra Table Feeds Awards. It's a statewide initiative designed to recognize the individuals, businesses, and communities making an impact in the fight against hunger. For the first time in the organization's history, Extra Table will formally honor those who have helped make its mission possible. Partners whose generosity, leadership, and commitment have strengthened communities across Mississippi. Those nominations for the awards are open from today, June 1st, through June 15th, and members of the public are encouraged to submit nominations for one or multiple categories. Following the nomination period, Extra Table will embark on the Good on the Go tour, a statewide road trip, much like Charlotte's, and a video series celebrating award recipients and sharing their stories across social media. For more information or to submit a nomination, visit extratable.org/awards. And we have a little clip from Robert St. John himself that we are going to play now.
You got about a 15-day window. We need your help to nominate people. All sorts of people, businesses that have helped Extra Table, different pantries, different people. There's even a category for youth. If you know a youth or a person or a business who's helped Extra Table over the last 16 years, go to the website and nominate them. We're going to award them, we're going to honor them, and we're going to show our appreciation to them. And we need your help. Let's make sure the people who have helped feed those in need across Mississippi get the recognition they deserve. Onward.
Thank you, Robert. We appreciate that. Charlotte, thank you so much for joining us. What a great, epic journey, and we are delighted that you were able to share it with us today.
And Charlotte, you've given your home state a great gift. I mean, so many people have heard about these restaurants and will go to them, and we appreciate that.
Well, I'd like to land on, I have to mention my friends who joined me on the coast, Tracy and Missy, who drove over from Natchez. And I also want to say I support Extra Table as a Mississippian. Y'all please support it.
All right.
Okay.
Absolutely. Deep South Dining is a production of Mississippi Broadcasting's Think Radio, and we are funded by the generous contributions from folks like yourself, and we thank you. For our producer, Marissa Vaughn, for our special guests, Charlotte Duck Pelton, and my co-host, Carol Palmer, I'm Malcolm White, saying stay tuned for At Issue Now. And join us every Monday at 4 p.m. as we sit down with our friends and talk about good food and good fellowship. Deep South Dining is heard right here on MPB Think Radio. Good day.